All right. Happy Thursday. Welcome to a very exciting team call because I definitely want to focus on all the new things. We have lots of promotions going on. Yeah, lots of promotions going on, lots of exciting opportunities to offer to our clients. So we're really expanding the different Maddox. You gotta stop talking. The different ways that we can help meet somebody where they're at. And I'm really excited about that. But I see it. Yes. But I really want to spend just a few minutes in a little bit of an exercise to help you really identify where to focus for fourth quarter. Because we have this business and there are a lot of different things and a lot of different ways to look at this business. And if you just decide you want to improve your business, but don't actually dive into the where and the how, then it can feel really overwhelming and crippling. And maybe like you're spinning your wheels, but not actually going anywhere. And I have a little bit of an activity that we can do to help eliminate that, to help really give you focus and really start to focus in the areas that you need the most attention so that you can move the needle forward in just those specific areas. And then in first quarter, you redo this same exact activity and reevaluate again, and then find the next three areas that you need to focus in. Because doing it all at one time, doing everything is going to get you nowhere, right? And at the same time, if you're listening to training calls, national wake up calls, and all these things, but you're not implementing anything, then what's the point, right? Like, what's the point of listening in and attending trainings if you're not going to actually implement them? So, this activity is going to allow you to figure out, all right, where do I need to focus and what trainings and personal development can I lean into that's really going to help me in these areas? So, if you have a pen and paper, I know a couple of you are driving, but you can definitely re-listen to this and do it whenever it works for you, or repeat it whenever you need to. But we're going to go through 10 different areas specifically of your business. So you can do this activity for personal life, for all different things. We're going to go specific on the business today. So 10 different areas of the business, and then you're going to rate yourself where you're at currently, 1 through 10 in that area. 1 being like, holy smokes, I need some intervention, I need some help. And 10 being like, I am crushing it, I rock that area, I need absolutely no help. So that's where you're going to gauge yourself. So the first one, number 1, is my results. If you had to give yourself a number 1 through 10 on your personal results, where would you be? How's your energy? How's your physical results? How's your mood? How are you sleeping? How are your results currently? Number 2, how is your marketing in your business? How are you feeling about the way that you market? And the way that you market could be how you provide value to someone prior to the sale, right? So it could be TikToks, it could be email marketing, it could be your stories, it could be all these different ways of marketing. How do you feel about your current business marketing strategy? Number 3, how do you feel about your sales process? So after the marketing, when you have somebody who's interested, how do you feel about the process of taking somebody interested and actually getting them through the checkout and getting them to pull the trigger, say yes, get started? How do you feel about that sales process that you have in place from interested to closing the deal? Number 4 is, how do you feel about your clients' results? About the process you have in place to get your clients' results. Once they say yes, they're interested, you close the sale, you get them signed up. How do you feel about the community that you've built, the way that you're established in getting them results? How can you promise what you marketed to them? How are you feeling about that process? Number 5, how do you feel about your partner's results? So when you market a new partner mentorship or a get started right call or a make Emerald happen call, when you market these things, how do you feel about the way that you're helping your partners get results, get the results that you promised as you're marketing these things? Number 6, how do you feel about time management and your ability to delegate? How do you feel in your business that you're managing your time, your pockets of time, your efficiency, your ability to hand things off that you don't need to be doing? How is that space for you? Number 7, how do you feel about your systems, the systems you have in place? If you do anything more than one time, there should be a system in place to help you with that. Doesn't mean it needs to be this big fancy automation of something. It could be as simple as saying, I'm doing this, so I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, right? Like, do you have a system in place for things in your business, and how do you feel about those systems? Number 8, where's your mindset? How's your belief? How's your confidence? How are you feeling about where you're at in your business? How is your current mindset? Number 9, how do you feel about your work routine? And when I say work routine, that means that you're not just, maybe you are, maybe you've got a lower number, and you're just scattered. You work here and there, whenever, however you do the work, whenever you can find 5 minutes, or do you have a structured, I sit down from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. every single morning. I work my business with this exact checklist, and I do this same work routine. So how do you feel about having a specific work routine on a scale from 1 to 10? And the last one is, how do you feel about your personal life routine? Same idea. Do you have a routine? Do you have a schedule that you typically follow? And how do you feel about that personal life routine, and getting into things that you want to get in that you find important to you? All right, so here's where it gets really cool. So you have this list now of these 10 items, and you've got a number rating on them, 1 through 10. I want you to highlight the lowest 3 numbers on that list. Those are the areas that you're going to hone in on and focus for fourth quarter. So maybe when you got to clients getting results and you were like, that's a 2. Like, I get so excited to get them signed up, but I don't actually feel like I'm getting anybody results. Then we're going to really focus in on that. So what does that mean? I want you to take these 3 areas and I want you to think of 3 ways that you can improve those areas over the next 3 months. So if it's lacking systems, so what are some things that you can do to implement? When I sign up a client, I'm going to send them this new client workbook. I'm going to create and modify the new client workbook so that it speaks to me and it's got the right links and it's got all the things I want. And maybe you want to create your own group. Maybe you want to start running your own group with somebody, and pair up with a success partner and run a group there. And you want to focus in on getting your clients results in that space, right? So I want you to think of your lowest 3 categories, and I want you to think of 3 activities that can really help to improve that space over the next 3 months. And then what happens here is you get really crystal clear about improving a specific area of your business in which you are currently lacking, you're not feeling super confident in. And then when first quarter rolls around, guess what? We get to repeat this exact same activity. And I bet that you've got a higher number now in that category. And maybe there's another area that you can spend your focus on for first quarter. So we got to go a little bit bigger picture, a little bit longer term, and not necessarily a quick fix. Some things take time, right? If you decide you want to build your own client community, it's not going to have 50 people in it tomorrow. That's something that's going to take time. So an area for me that I want to focus on is getting our clients results. I'd love to see 100 check-ins a day. Like that's a goal of mine, is to have 100 check-ins a day on our daily check-ins. So like, what can I do to help increase that number? Right? I need to ask my clients if daily tags would be helpful. I need to encourage more tags, more check-ins. I need to get more partners enrolled who are also inviting to the same boot camp. Do you see how there's all these different areas that I can improve? I can take ownership of my business to hit that goal. I think so often we disperse and we become codependent in our businesses, and we hand over the reins to other people and we rely on them. And I really want to encourage you to kind of bring back some of that independence and self-evaluate, self-assess on these areas that we can focus on, and just really, really hone on those for the last quarter. All right. So whether or not you completed that activity with me live or you're doing the replay, I would love to hear your bottom 3 areas. And if you'd like some help on figuring out some activities to really help drive those areas up, then I would love to do that with you. Let me know and we can work through that. But I would love to hear what your bottom 3 and your kind of your focus plan for fourth quarter is. I think it's really, really important to listen to these calls, but to then take action, like do the work, do the activity, actually see what areas you need to focus on, and put together a plan to actually move the needle forward in those areas. So I have just a few more minutes of content here for you guys. So we have a lot of promotions going on, one being the bike sale. So don't forget that bike sale is going on for just a very short 5-day period of $700 off. I just reread the FAQ and I don't believe it's just the bike. I think it's only the bike plus in the mix, whatever those names are. I think it's the top 2 tiers that actually include the weights for them to throw in the free weight rack, which would make sense, right? Because the weight rack is included. So I don't think it's the basic bike. So I did share a graphic that was like the old graphic for $700 off, but I really don't think it includes that. I see that, yes. But I really don't think it includes that like basic bike. So I wanted to mention that. In the middle of September, we have that monthly body option. Keep in mind, this is only a very short window that they're testing this. So it's September, the middle of September through December, where they can pay $99 a month for access to the platform and a 20 serving bag of Shakeology. And the idea is to test this to see if it's sustainable, if it works, if people like this option, and then we'll go from there. So they're making a slight adjustment that if you sign somebody up with this package, and I don't really understand it completely, but say they want a coach and you sign them up and they choose to keep with this for the November, December, right? Like October, November, December, those 3 months, that will be enough home direct for their Success Club qualification. So as of right now, the rule is 90 PV for home direct in order to qualify for Success Club. They're lowering that number to 63 because 63 is the amount of PV for that monthly purchase for the 20 bag Shakeology and the access. The $99 monthly subscription is 63 PV. So if you have somebody who signs up and wants to coach, and that's all they're doing is this subscription, that's enough for them to qualify for Success Club. So I think that that's important, so that we're still definitely offering the partner opportunity to these people. It doesn't really affect you because, I mean, I guess you could drop to 63 PV if you wanted to, but I wouldn't give up my shakes or my Energize for the life of me. So I can't quite figure out it's not really super helpful for somebody who already has annual body as far as that PV drop, but it's there. And I wanted to just mention it because it's hopping in my 2 to 5 star chat pod. So I wanted to be sure to share that information with you guys here too. The bod to body promotion is still going strong. It's $40 off. Plus you can use your $20 off promo code. So make sure that you're running that report that so for me, I've got a list of all of my people who are bod, not body. And I'm just going to keep working through that list every single month. So this month I had however many. I've been drawing little hearts when I send them a cart, coloring it in once they check out. And I'm just going to continue to work through that list every single month. And I can send a message tomorrow to say like, hey, I noticed you didn't take that opportunity in September. It is still valid now in October. Like, I'm not really saying a deadline on it or a time frame, so that I can continue to touch base and use that as I need to really drive Success Club for me and to help them get set up with like a extremely low price. I think that's all I had for today. If you came in late, I know a couple of you dropped in late, be sure I'll drop this recording in the team call. We did just a really quick 10 to 15 minute exercise at the beginning to really evaluate your business and where to focus in on fourth quarter. And I'm really, really excited. And I think everybody needs to do that. So do that activity and then shoot me your results. So make sure you listen to this replay after this call. So, okay. So Christina, a couple of things about that. Make sure they realize that like, it's not an option. Like, so her comment, if you're not, can't see the chat, says, I haven't had one person want the discount to switch, and she can't believe it. So it is not an option, right? They are going to renew at that 179 price, whether they like it or not. That's coming. Their bod, it no longer exists. So for a couple of my people, I did have to explain that, right? They're used to that $99, this is going to renew, and that's not happening. So literally for free, for 179, they're getting the bigger package. So if they don't want free things, then maybe that's the case. Just make sure, and she said that she did tell them that, but make sure that they understand that this renewal is happening regardless, but you'd love to get them recommitted in your groups. And all of this stuff is included for free. It's a huge promo right now that you can get all of this stuff completely for free. So that's was a selling point for me. That's how I got mine. Okay, so I also didn't tell them when their bod was renewing. I didn't give them a date. So she said she thinks it's because they want to wait until they renew until their deadline. I didn't tell them when they're renewing, and I didn't tell them that this promo had a date or an end date. I just attacked it like, this is something you want to take advantage of right now. I've got this huge promotional offer, and it's your business, right? So if Success Club is important to you, you can choose to offer that $20 off promo code this month only. And then like, boom, sorry, they lost it. You can come back next month and be like, hey, I just had a couple of promo codes unclaimed. I'm willing to give you one more if you'd want to do it this month. Those are your promo codes to use in your business to move it forward, however works. So if using them to hit Success Club is something that you see helpful, I 100% would. I would reach out to all of my people and I would say, hey, this promo code for this specific offer actually expires today. So if you wanted to get all of that stuff for no cost, it's literally going to be the exact same price as your renewal, that we need to get it set up today. If not, no big deal. Next month, it'll only be $20 to add all of that stuff. And I can touch base back then if that's something you want to do. So that's how I would approach it if I was pushing for Success Club, but totally up to you. I did give you guys, if you're in the end of the year push group, I did give my 5 checklists, exactly what I would do if I was pushing for Success Club today. And I 100% wholeheartedly believe you can hit Success Club today with those items, but you've got to be willing to sit down and work. Like, it's the last day of the month. And if you let it get to this point and haven't hit Success Club yet, then you've got to be willing to commit some time, some energy, and some effort to really sit down and do those things. Success Club doesn't just happen. It's not magic. It doesn't just happen without doing the work. And it's crunch time. We're officially there. It's crunch time. I hope that sharing my income progression in the chat pod was helpful for you guys. So for me, it hasn't grown at the rate that I would like it to, but there's still growth, which is proof that if you do nothing more than be consistent and hit Success Club, your income will grow over time. At some point in that, we were a 5-star qualifying team in that income progression. And currently, as of today, we're a 1-star diamond team, right? So you can see that rank doesn't necessarily dictate income. It's not the only factor, right? So yes, of course, if we could have maintained that 5-star diamond team. Yeah. if we could have maintained that 5-star diamond team, my income would be at a much higher progression than it is. But it's still progressing, even with rank not progressing. So I wanted to make sure to emphasize that. So if you feel like 5-star diamond is so far away, that income is happening, that progression is happening as a 1-star diamond team, and it is Katie as a diamond coach under us, right? So I am our team's only diamond, and that income is still growing because of that. Does anybody have any questions before we end just a little bit early today? No? Okay, I will end this and get the recording up so you guys can do that activity. And I can't wait to hear from you on your areas of focus for the 4th quarter. And as always, reach out if you need me, but go hustle this last day of the month. You got this, make it happen. You can do it. I know you can. All right, I'll talk to you guys all soon.